The best revenge is to not be like your enemy. The best answer to anger is silence. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Confine yourself to the present. Conceal a flaw, and the world will imagine the worst. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Each day provides its own gifts. Give yourself a gift, the present moment. Settle on the type of person you want to be and stick to it, whether alone or in company. Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it. Consider what price you sell your integrity, but please, for God's sake, don't sell it cheap. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, and the master of a fool. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Ignorance is the cause of fear. Hurry up and live. While we wait for life, life passes. Life is long if you know how to use it. Life, if well lived, is long enough. Only time can heal what reason cannot. While we're postponing, life speeds by. Difficulty comes from our lack of confidence. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. It's more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it. He who is brave is free. It's a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends by having many acquaintances, but no friends. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. It doesn't matter how many books you have, but how good the books are which you have. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by the rulers as useful. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. For many men, the acquisition of wealth does not end their troubles, it only changes them. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Make the best use of what's in your power, and take the rest as it happens. No man is free who is not master of himself. It is difficulties that show what men are. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. First, learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. No great thing is created suddenly. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. If you want something good, get it yourself. Since every man dies, it is better to die with distinction than to live long. We begin to lose our hesitation to do immoral things when we lose our hesitation to speak of them. Thus, whoever destroys human marriage destroys the home, the city, the whole human race. Humanity must seek what is not simple and obvious using the simple and obvious. Only by exhibiting actions in harmony with the sound words which he has received will anyone be helped by philosophy. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. All the good are friends of one another. Extravagance is its own destroyer. No loss should be more regrettable to us than losing our time, for it is irretrievable. A bad feeling is a commotion of the mind repugnant to reason and against nature. Steel your sensibilities so that life shall hurt you as little as possible. Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. I am not Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. He has the most who is content with the least. Dogs and philosophers do the greatest good and get the fewest rewards. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Poverty is a virtue which one can teach oneself. The mob is the mother of tyrants. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Music is a moral law. It gives soul to the universe, wings to the fleet of mind, flight to the imagination, charm and gaiety to life and to everything. Good people don't need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. Dictatorship naturally arises out of democracy, and the most aggravated form of tyranny and slavery out of the most extreme liberty. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. A hero is born among 100. A wise man is found among 1,000. But an accomplished one might not be found even among 100,000 men. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. There will be no end to the troubles of states or of humanity itself till philosophers become kings in this world, or till those we now call kings and rulers really and truly become philosophers, and political power and philosophy thus come into the same hands. The measure of a man is what he does with power. We are twice armed if we fight with faith. Justice in the life and conduct of the state is possible only if first it resides in the hearts and souls of the citizens. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. The empty vessel makes the loudest sound. Honesty is for the most part less profitable than dishonesty. No man should bring children into the world who is unwilling to preserve to the end in their nature and education. If a man neglects education, he walks lame to the end of his life. Rhetoric is the art of ruling the minds of men.